Hi, welcome to American Reversion, and because I'm going to put this over on integrated preparedness as well, welcome to integrated preparedness. I'm Steve Smith. I've stayed away from getting too far into politics in the past because I just didn't feel it was time for me to do it. Others have been in it real good and heavy for quite a while, and it was time for them. I just didn't feel like it was time for me. Well, I feel it is time for me now. And this is pretty much what I set up that other site, or this site, sorry, American Reversion 4, and I think now it's time to get started. We're seeing shenanigans going on with this election. A stolen election is stolen liberty, it's stolen freedom, and it's a stolen country. Now, I've come from a long, proud history of dirty, rotten politics. I'm from Kansas City, Missouri. Um, that's Jackson County, Missouri. Kansas City and Jackson County was a machine town from way back when, back in the days of Jim and Tom Pendergast, and really even before that. It was Democrat controlled. It was the home of Harry Truman, who was put in by Tom Pendergast. And there's a whole story there. Harry's held up to be this icon of honesty and all that. And the story behind that is much different, which I won't get into it now. But Truman was held up as an icon in this area. Don't worry, I'm going to get back in just a minute to what's going on right now. But I'm going to give you a little bit of my bona fides. So I was born into a Jackson County family, a Democrat family. I was raised to believe that Democrats were good and Republicans were bad, and if a Republican ever did anything good, it was either by mistake or a sneaky way to do something bad later on. Because I believed that because my family, who I knew were honest and hardworking people, I assumed that everybody who they said was also. And if they were good Democrats and they told me this, I believed them. I didn't question that, like so many, until I was up in my 20s. And like a good Democrat, I just went in and I pulled the big D for all the Democrats to keep those evil, rotten Republicans out of office, who I was told were just for the rich person and against the working man, which I was because I was a cop. And all the cops voted Democrat. Well, I won't go into the whole long story of how I discovered the truth, but during Carter, I started paying attention and I started understanding that what I'd been raised to believe was entirely wrong. Now, going back just a little bit, because I was aware of what was going on in the Democrat machine here in Kansas City, I knew a lot about ballot stuffing and vote fraud, and we all knew that this was how people were put in office, including Harry Truman. Uh, but because it was our side, well, it just seemed like it was all right, right? And after all, we were winning. We were fighting the good fight against the forces of evil. Well, voter fraud and ballot stuffing and all sorts of things have been a proud tradition in the Democrat Party since probably since it was started. I can't swear to back then, but I'll tell you back until the 20s and 30s it has been. So I understand it. I never participated in it, but I have to say that way back then, when I thought I was on the side of the angels, I didn't stand up against it until it was Ronald Reagan who brought me back around, who himself was a Democrat at one time, and said that he didn't leave the Democrat Party; it left him. Same with me. I didn't leave it when I saw that what was happening within it. It left me, and from then I haven't voted for a Democrat since. Now I would have voted for one guy. What was his name? He's down in Georgia, and some of you are screaming right now what his name was. Great Zell. What was his name? Anyway, I want to say Miller, but I'm not sure that that's right. Zell something. Back to this because that's an unimportant aside. um, we are seeing dirty politics in this. I mean, to the core. I'm getting stuff sent to me right and left from all sorts of people with videos showing poll watchers being kept, Republican poll watchers being kept away from the tables to where they can see what's going on at the polls. I'm seeing videos where the ballots are actually being marked at the tables in the polls, and I am just getting deluged by this. I just got a list from someone. I haven't verified it. I can't verify it, but knowing the internals of this, I believe it 100%. A list of all the states in which there have been more ballots cast than there are registered voters within that state. We are in the process here of an election being stolen and our country being stolen for good. Because if this is allowed to stand, the fight goes to an entirely different level. Now I also got one. It was off of InfoWars that some guy, and I don't know his name. I just watched it, and he claims that this is all part of a sting on the part of the Trump administration, having to do with watermarks and things like this on ballots, because he maintains that they knew all this was a coming. Now they bill him as an old intel guy. I don't know him. I don't know whether he is or not. But he says this is all part of a sting because the Trump organization knew that this was going to happen, and they've sent out all the ballots. The legit ones have watermarks on them, and the non-legit ones don't. And that they're gonna investigate all this and find out all of the dirty dealings that have gone on in these ballots, and bring justice to all these folks. Right? Well, I don't know. That sounds a little bit like this QAnon stuff to me, which it's one of those things. I wish it was true, but I've never seen enough proof that it is, and so I view it extremely skeptically. Skeptically, right? Anyway, if you all have seen this too, I would appreciate you putting links to it down here. Go ahead and leave the links. Now, I'm not sure if I have a setting on this one on American Reversion that keeps out posts with links, but I'm going to go in there and I will check it, and if I find that links have been kept out, I will allow those, and I'll put it back on here, because I think that that it's important. This is one of those things that I don't know. I don't have time to go and check all these things, and I'll be honest, I don't keep track of all the minutia of this as we go on, but it is important. And so I will ask on this. It's time now to build this channel, American Reversion. For all of you who are watching on Integrative Preparedness, I ask that you go over, sign up, subscribe to American Reversion, like it, share it, pass it around, because that's the one that I'm going to be building about things political, and it's time to get started on that. So share your thoughts. What do you think? What have you seen? What have you heard? I mean, a lot of things are just going to be rumors. We understand that. But, information is important, and people sharing their opinions and what they've heard is important. I don't think any of us are stupid enough to just swallow anything that we happen to hear whole. But as this information and these opinions come together and form a larger body of information, then we're going to be able to have a better idea of what's going on. So I think that's it for whatever you've seen. Share it here and share this. The time for the information war is here. If we don't win an information war, it goes to other levels that are going to be far less pleasant. And so let's all get involved right now. So that's all I'm going to say right now. I'm going to get back tomorrow with some more. Please share your stuff. Put your information down here. I'll get back periodically to clear everything that comes in with a link in it, so it's in a timely manner. And since this is up mainly on American Reversion, remember, what we're working for is not to just conserve and to hold the line right now. Holding the line here is the wrong place to hold it, because the line has already been moved too far in the wrong direction. We're working for a reversion, an American reversion, a reversion back to the way things were supposed to be. If we don't fight, it will never happen. If we do fight, it can happen. But it can't happen without you being involved and sending this to everybody you know and getting them involved too. Let the anger of the American people, let the will of the American people be heard, because if it's not, what will happen to our country will be what we deserve. Okay, I'll leave it at that. Spread this around. Like it, subscribe, share with everybody you know, and I'll be back tomorrow to talk with you some more. Bye-bye.